You've done it! After weeks of dreaming and research and thinking, you finally decided you want a totally custom invitation. The whole world has just opened up before you. You see this beautiful blank canvas. Now what?
Hi, I'm Melissa.
And I'm John, and welcome to Paper Truly. Today, in the first part of our series on custom invitations, we're looking at theme, layout, and concept, and giving you some tools that you can use as you plan your own perfect custom invitations. The first thing is this: theme, layout, and concept are actually three different things.
Now, all invitations have a theme. A theme is just the visuals that work really well together. This can be by color, by style, or by physical elements.
The layout is how the piece itself is put together. So the physical piece, does it have folds? Does it have pockets? How is it cut? Is it laser cut? Is it rectangular cut? Is it die cut? And how are the illustrations and the text laid out on the piece itself?
Now, the concept is deeper and kind of a more abstract idea, but it combines the theme and the layout and just makes them work really well together. But It says, or it asks the question, what is this about? What makes this invitation stand out?
Yeah. And if you have all those three things working together, you're going to have a really, really, really strong custom invitation. But of course, we realize that what we just said is kind of abstract and can be a little hard to understand without seeing it. So we've got some examples we're going to look at.
So our first example is this vintage newspaper design. As far as theme, it has sort of these Art Deco elements that works well with sort of a era-appropriate, newspaper-appropriate text treatment. And it's got kind of this aged newspaper look to the design. As far as layout, we've got this nice little twine wrapping here as an embellishment. But the layout is just like a newspaper. So it unfolds, and unfolds pretty large. Now you have to consider that size doesn't need to be exact. It doesn't need to be life size, because that would make this ginormous, and you wouldn't want people to be fiddling around with it and trying to figure out how to hold it the best way so they can read.
Don't be too literal. You don't want to send them a literal newspaper.
Yes, but as far as the layout on this one, we've got a fold here, we've got a fold here, and we've got laser cutting here so that people can tear out their little reply card, put it in the envelope, and mail it off. As far as concept, all of these articles are written in the voice of the couple, but it also kind of has a 1920s, 1930s twist to it, kind of like the bee's knees sort of thing. But they've also got their love story in here. So this ties the concept and brings it into them, to their personal relationship, and that makes it a lot more personal.
Cool.
So the idea there is it's a newspaper about them and their wedding and their relationship.
Okay. All right. Well, let's look then at the locale design here. This
one I really love because it's got kind of the theme is more of a gentler but more high-end art classic look. So we've got kind of some watercolor textures in here. It's on a paper that's kind of very slightly textured to kind of play with that watercolor. But it's got the nice pen and ink kind of line drawing thing, so it's very high-end art look. Now, as far as the layout, we've got this ribbon here that holds the whole thing closed. So it's a gatefold, but you can see that it's shaped so it's also laser cut. And when you open it up, it's got the little pockets that hold our enclosure cards. You can also have, the placement of things is also part of the layout. So this works really well here so that it doesn't just slide into your lap as soon as you open it, which is something I always design around, because I don't like the idea of somebody opens up the envelope and everything just plops into their lap. I don't like that idea. So I like working with placement of additional things, cards and envelopes, to work really well with the layout. Now, conceptually, this is really strong for the bride and groom because this represents where they become Mr. and Mrs. So this represents this building represents the starting of their marriage, which is a really strong concept.
Cool. All right. And lastly, we have our premiere design over here. So let's talk about this one. This one's really fun.
So the theme for this one is really simple. It's just a movie poster going to the movies. So we've got a ticket here. As far as the layout, we've got a ticket here, and we've got the movie poster. Now, this one is really not complicated as far as the layout, the invitation itself. It's a large piece, and sometimes you can bring a level of interest and uniqueness just by the size of the piece. This one's also layered, so it has a really nice gold pearlescent paper on the back, so it gives it stability. But when they get this in the mail, they're like, what is this large thing? It's awesome, and it's for me. So it's really just a simple, rectangular card, but the size of it really makes a statement. And then for the RSVP information, we have RSVP and guest info and reception and ceremony details on this nice laser cut ticket stub idea. And they've got the perforations just like you would have on the tickets. Now, again, with not taking size too literally, we wouldn't want to make this tiny because we wouldn't be able to fit all the details on there. And we need the RSVP to be a size that's mailable.
Yeah.
So this one is done very functionally.
So what's the concept on this one?
So the concept on this one is that it's a movie about them and their love.
It's adorable.
It's adorable.
It's just cute. That's really it, though. Like, whether or not you've got your theme or your concept totally worked out, it's worth taking a moment and starting to really think about a strong layout. Because a great layout makes a good theme and a good concept even better. So what we're going to do now is give you some questions that we want you to ask, questions that we have our customers ask as we're working with them to create their perfect custom invitations. First one is this: how does the piece itself work? You know, is it a flat card? Is it a gatefold piece like we saw today? Does it have a bunch of pockets? Like how does a physical piece work?
Secondly, you want to make sure that you don't have too many information cards in there. So how many cards do you want to have? Most invitation suites will have the RSVP and perhaps an envelope if it's not a postcard. But you don't want to have too many other information, detail, hotel accommodation, that sort of thing. You don't want to overwhelm them.
You don't want it to be like this thick.
Right, just a little detail card.
That'd be bad. What kind of paper is it going to be printed on? Does an aged parchment feel look right? Does it need to be eggshell? Or maybe it's even a layered piece like we saw with the Premiere design.
And next, as you're considering the paper, you also need to consider what printing method you want to use. Now, all the ones that we showed today are printed digitally on a digital press. But you can also do letterpressing, which involves the creation of a plate that has the design on it that presses into the paper, whether or not it uses ink. You could do a blind deboss if you're not using ink.
Ooh, fancy.
It is fancy. Or you could do foil pressing or foil stamping, which is a similar process, but there's a layer of foil added in there and heat to press that into the paper for a really upscale look.
It is fancy. Hey, what kind of shape is the piece going to be? Is it going to be square? Is it going to need to be die cut? Is it going to need to be laser cut? Just what the overall shape of the piece is going to be.
And finally, you need to make sure that your invitation is mailable.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to consider three main things that will determine the value of the cost for each invitation to be mailed successfully. And that is the thickness, the weight, and the size of each one. So you definitely need to check it with your local post office and make sure that you can mail that successfully.
Man, that would be the worst. You spend all this time like creating this awesome invitation and then you can't even afford to mail it. Ugh, that would be bad.
So definitely check.
Thanks for watching. Next time, we're going to be asking the number one question you need to ask when it comes to your theme and your concept and how they work together. But until then, you can click that subscribe button to get our videos in your feed every 2 weeks. You can leave us a question or a comment below. We love helping people create their perfect custom invitations, and we'd love to answer any questions you might have. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest at PaperTruly, and you can find our shop at papertruly.com.